makeover, made my whole city look good. I gave this V shit a makeover.
What's going on, y'all? We got a new video today. And today, this video is kind of controversial. Actually, I won't even say that. A man by Scotty K Fitness got exposed, and we finna look into what he was talking about. This is all allegations, I believe. So I can't confirm nothing, but we're gonna see, what they got out there and what the accusations are, and get our point of view on it. So if you haven't yet, like and subscribe, and let's get right into the video.
Gentlemen, massive crazy stories today. Looks like Scotty K Fitness, popular TikToker who's in the fitness industry, just got exposed for SA in his former life before changing his name. And ladies and gentlemen, I just gotta say that I am not shocked in the least.
SA is a crazy allegation. I can't lie to you. Excuse me. Yeah, SA is a crazy allegation.
I will say allegedly though, for legal and liability reasons, as I do not want to get sued. However, I will be showing you this video here from creator GoobU2, who did a little investigation into Scotty in his former life as a security guard or police officer at some college campus where he was allegedly creeping on some of the girls. And in another situation where he allegedly grabbed a woman by her neck and forced her head towards his crotch. I know, shocking stuff. Let's get into it.
So there's one problem with being famous, but in your
I can't lie, that's a crazy ass allegation, but let's get the proof. Let's get, see what everything is talking about.
past life, you were a huge piece of shit. No matter what you think you've changed, or no matter how you've tried to alter your appearance or maybe your name, you can never outrun the shit that you did. Scotty K Fitness, also known as Matt Kramer, welcome to the show.
So Matt Kramer was his original name before he changed it to Scotty. And the running theory is that, well, he had a regular job in 2020 of which he departed from, blew up 5 years later, knew that this case was still out there, this information was out there, panicked and knew that he had to change that name or else the inevitable would happen. And by the way, before we go any further, I just got
Okay, change your name is like crazy, knowing that you got allegations. That just adds more to the pot of like you being guilty. Does that make sense? Like that's crazy. I can't say he's guilty, but changing the name, you know what I'm saying, leaving the job and stuff. That's crazy.
say he did it to himself. Again, he went on to dox a random ass commenter making fun of his mustache and saying he looked like the gay guy from Ozark, and another guy for making fun of his mustache, and then he mocked.
Wait, did it show
again, he went on to dox a random ass.
I did see this video. That was fucked up. He's a bitch for doing that. I don't give a fuck. You put
commenter making fun of his mustache and saying he looked like the gay guy from Ozark, and another guy for making fun of his mustache, and then he mocked him, basically saying that's why you're paralyzed from the chest down. Like, guy, you made a mountain out of a molehill, you dissected and doxed other people, and now the same thing is happening to you.
I seen this because he said something about made a whole video talking about his like two buddies, whatever, and quote unquote dog somebody, gave out all his personal information to prove a point about being a bounty hunter. I think I remember this video.
And your career is pretty much done.
Scotty's made headlines recently for just kind of being a douchebag. He made fun of a disabled person, he got canceled, Rides let him go. But I'm here to tell you, he's going to relish and miss the times when we were shitting on him for just that. Because Scotty has a dirty secret. You see, this safe space on his bio is quite misleading, because Scotty was actually born Matthew Scott Kramer. This is his birth certificate.
And as you can see here, the document that Goob is showing on screen, it says in the district court and for Tulsa County, state of Oklahoma, of which he is from, it says in the matter of the application of Matthew Scott Kramer,
That
for a change of name to Scotty Knox Flynn. So he basically changed his entire name and kept some variation of his middle name, Scott, and used it as Scotty, as to avoid detection from any documents or personal records relating to his old life. Very, very sneaky on your part, Scotty.
Brian is the best content marketing team
I don't
lead
know,
I've ever
that's,
worked with. But before he created his content calendar using
Now, Scotty, also known as Matt, told the judge that he was changing his name because he didn't like his family's name and wanted to change it for that reason. But I have a different theory as to why Scotty changed his name to Scotty from Matt. And it has to do with this complaint filed against him in the ongoing investigation that occurred for when he was an officer at a school. You see, Mr. Safe Space was an officer at a school. However, he was allegedly telling students that he started an OnlyFans for extra money and made inappropriate statements about females that were walking 25 feet in front of him.
That is crazy. I just gotta say, holy Scott is actually cooked. He's fried. Chicken fried rice stir fried with a hot ass wok and all. So in this document that I'm quickly gonna go through, it says on June 1st, 2021, I spoke with Censored and she was informed of my receipt of the complaint and that an investigation was being initiated. So I'm going to assume this may be the victim here or someone, a coworker, who knows. Additionally, it says investigation of complaints. The investigators shall contact the complainant and inform them that they are beginning an investigation into the complaint and to obtain any further information if needed. And it says investigative scope, police policy, professional conduct and complaints and discipline. 1. Conduct unbecoming of an officer. Officers' employees are expected to behave and act as any prudent person in their same position would be expected to act and behave, of which Scotty was not. And they say under the scope of this investigation, he was engaging in inappropriate conversations to or could be heard by other
with students. Look, I can't lie. It's all making sense now. Like, if you follow his content, whatever, I seen, I think 2 videos from him. But I didn't know who he was. But it's all starting to make sense.
their officers, faculty, staff, or students. They also say the typed letter read that Officer Kramer used offensive language from December 2020 until present day. This letter was not signed. Officer Kramer allegedly made inappropriate statements about a newscaster by saying he wanted to, and I quote, sticking it in her butt, end quote. Officer Kramer allegedly shared information about his past sexual experiences with his ex-girlfriend and spoke to TCC employees about his past relationships and cheating on his wife 35 times. Wow, Scotty, you're a naughty guy. Kramer was also on Facebook trying to find a female student that he seen in the academic building that wasn't wearing
Now, ain't that crazy?
a bra. Oh boy. Again, very naughty, Scotty. Kramer
Looking at students, huh?
allegedly spoke with a female student life employee about him starting an OnlyFans account for extra money and made an inappropriate statement about a female student that was walking about 25 feet in front
Students.
of him. So yeah, buddies, again, another performative male down. So much for that safe space, huh?
Pause and hold to read this. But even his fellow officers all say that he makes them uncomfortable and that he says multiple and many off-color things about females in the presence of the other officers. And this is such a big problem that it made its way into an investigation and a complaint lodged against him.
And I'm going to read this part of the document here as well. It says here, me. So whoever I suppose is writing this document says, can you tell me about Officer Kramer and any of the issues that you may be aware of? And then Eubanks says, young Officer Kramer came to us in September, has a lot of rough edges. Probably the biggest issue Officer Kramer has is his inability to not talk. So basically, he talks too much. I've heard his fellow officers, his co-workers complain about some of the comments he makes in their presence. The comments are off-color type comments that are not directed towards the officers, but directed towards faculty, staff, and students. I'm not sure. They haven't been made in my presence, obviously, but it causes them concern, and they have voiced those concerns. And guys, if your fellow male officers are getting to the point to where they're that uncomfortable to where they report you, which a lot of male officers, you know, through locker room talk. You know, guys, we make edgy jokes all the time. If you're that type of guy to where other guys have to now report you, then buddy, you know you're doing too much. It also says Lieutenant Blank and I have talked about it, and we have been watching very closely, have been advising the officers if they see anything or they have any faculty, staff, or student that are upset to the point that they wish to make a complaint, to let us know, and we would field the inaudible due to BWC beeping. So they censored something here, and we would get it all documented. So they were having a low-key investigation into Scotty without him even knowing, basically. And then later at the bottom part of this document from the person writing or within this recorded interview, it says, me, based on the information you have, are they kind of a sexual content? Then Eubanks says, yes, it's kind of off-color towards female students or staff. Again, I'm not sure it's where Officer Kramer apparently sees somebody walking and while in the presence of another officer makes some kind of comment about that female. Okay. And guys, apparently this all happened at the Tulsa Community College Metro Campus in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where Scotty is apparently from.
This investigation was eventually closed, and it was closed because Scotty just quit. It says here that he was so pissed off that they were questioning him that he just said, I quit, and left. And then about 4 or 5 years later, he got really popular on social media and probably thought, damn, that's out there. People know who Matt Kramer is. Gotta change my name.
He did it in July 2025. District Court, July 30th, 2025.
Unfortunately, the bad stories about Matt don't stop there.
He just told me about 2 times with his military background that he can have me killed. I went to defense seminars and to test me. He held me down by my throat and told me how he could kill me right then, and it would be easy for him to get away with it because of his police background. And which is kind of crazy because we go back to that I'm a former bounty hunter, you know what I'm saying? I could believe this one. Just saying.
This is a personal account from a woman that met him at a jiu-jitsu gym. She personally testified that he held her down by her throat and told her how he could kill her right there, and it would be easy for him to get away with it because of his police background.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, another performative male down. I just gotta say, why are performative males who legit pander for a living and claim to have safe spaces and to be champions of women's rights always caught with a history of either SA or abuse or both against women, the same ones they're championing for? I mean, it's gotta be some kind of projection, right? Some kind of compensation, overcompensation to try and come off as the good guy, maybe? I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. Let me know.
I don't know if you guys qualify that as a safe space, but I certainly don't. Well, Scotty, it looks like you have something else to make a groveling bullshit apology video for. But let's be real. You've been sitting in that chair all week wondering when we would find this shit. Time to see yourself out of the fitness industry, buddy. Your shit's cooked.
Well, shout out to Rise for dropping him and, you know, taking the right approach by not risking their brand with a person like this. Like, hey, honestly, I can't say I'm shocked. And now people are saying the Scotty files are coming out. What am I missing? What happened? This you with a, wow, dropping of this court document, or not court document, but the document from the college campus in Oklahoma. Someone else said the people who act the nicest always got the worst secrets. Yeah, we've time and
See, look, and that's the best thing about me. I ain't got no damn secrets. Man, this is crazy. I mean, I can't really sound surprised, though, because he always gave me, like, weird-ass vibes. Like, I don't know if it's the mustache or, like, it's just the creep, like, hey, you know. But it's just, I don't know. It's just weird as fuck.
time again, that's been proven right. I'm Alex for one. Someone else said Scotty files before they released the Epstein files. I don't know. I think they literally just dropped it like a few days ago. Another person said he was one of my favorite creators. Such a disappointment. Shake my head. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I say stop investing all your emotional investment in any creator. You don't know these people. As a creator myself, who's engaged with many creators behind the scenes. I'm telling you, stop doing that. Honestly, your best bet is just to, you know, if you like their content, support the merch, the music, or whatever else. Keep it at that, keep it base level, and that's that. That's it. It is what it is. And especially for guys like this who overcompensate with the whole nice guy act or the whole championing for the current popular thing act. Listen, bro, you already know the red flags. You see it time and time again. It is what it is. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Thoughts and opinions down below. The grift continues. Scotty, farewell. Adios. Hasta la luego.
Man, how do y'all feel about it? If we got accusations, we got, you know, the timing of the name change, and then, you know what I'm saying, to him with his police background, and on top of that, him making that video about being a bounty hunter, and, you know, it all just lines up. I'm just like, that's crazy. But let me know how y'all feel about this. If, you know, I'm going to keep an update on this. If I see anything that's going to be, you know, entertaining or interesting. These are all allegations, just to throw that out there. But tell me what y'all think. Hit that like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in my next video. Peace.
Finally get some cake and you make it out the way. Been out there looking at